It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies. We are still stuck at home watching movies on tiny screens. Mine is only 77 inches. We also have to make our own popcorn. It is a sad, sad situation, but I digress. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name's Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hello, Jim.
Hey.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Oh, we're going to rage on, all right. It's time for a quick rage out to thank James, currently our only member subscriber. And yes, you too can be a member of the Film Rage community by joining at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. All members get a special episode and content only for members, and only for the members. And even annual members get even a special prize. Along with all members that sign up, we'll get a limited edition Film Rage merch item, which is limited edition and only for members. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a film. Lastly, make sure to go on our merch site, because guess what? Shit's on sale right now, up to 35% off. You can support your local favorite podcast, Film Rage, on TeePublic, and we're also now on Redbubble, both with unique products. So that's exciting stuff. Now, we've got a promo for our other Canadian bros from other hoes that talk about sports stuff. Let's do it.
Welcome to Scotch and Sports. We're your weekly sports podcast. You got hosts Mike, Gertie, Suds, and we're bringing you all the best in the world of sports.
I'm drunk. We're going to bring you the NFL, the NHL, the NBA, and sometimes we can ask questions on Twitter. We'll even bring you some rugby and some cricket, even though we have no idea what the hell we're talking about.
Still drunk. So tune in weekly. We're on Apple, Google, Spotify, Podbean. If your ears can hear it, we'll be there.
I love those guys.
All right.
It's such an awesome podcast. So people, if you do not know them, check them out. Scotch and Sports. Search it out everywhere. Let's dance. Streaming. And what?
We are streaming, Jim. All right. So this week we streamed a whole schwack of stuff. This is
Schwacks.
a pretty big episode. I think we're going to talk about 900 movies this episode. Give or take.
What?
All right, but we are going to start with a doozy, a humdinger.
It's a doozy.
It's a doozy.
Wait, before
Yes.
you start.
Okay.
What's the name of our podcast again? Just so the listeners can be sure they're listening to the right place.
It is called Film Rage. And I have a feeling you're going to get a little bit of it right now. So on Prime right now, you can stream Coming to, that's the number 2, Coming to America. Coming to America. Emphasis on the 2, as this is the long-awaited sequel by nobody at Film Rage, except maybe Murray. It is over 30 years after we were first introduced to Prince Hakeem and the Kingdom of Zamunda. Sadly, in 30 years, nothing has changed. Amazingly enough, the this sequel was worse than the first Coming to America, which is no easy feat. It literally just brought back all the same characters with all the exact same failed attempts at humor. I do not get these movies at all. Within the first 10 minutes, it is obvious what the ending is going to be. Of course, the now sexist Akeem, who was totally the opposite before, so I don't know what happened to him in the meantime, but totally sexist now, will realize by the end that the heir to his throne should be his eldest daughter and not the bastard son he spawned on his trip to America 30 years ago. Dumb premise, tired jokes, and Eddie Murphy playing multiple roles along with Arsenio Hall make for an excruciating experience. I still cannot believe this was worse than the first one. This was a rage.
Oh my God, dude. That is a 2. Number 2.
Ew, it sure was.
I know. Like, did they come up with the best title for that movie? Like, was that intentional? They knew it was going to be terrible.
I
Like,
knew it was going to be awful. This is totally number 2.
Did Eddie Murphy actually go, okay, you know what we need to call this? Number 2.
Yeah, let's put the big 2 right there. Coming to America.
Yes. Well, there was some things I did like about this. Yeah, I like to see Wesley Snipes. I love him. He's awesome. Not in this movie. I like Leslie Jones. I think she's fucking hilarious, but not in this movie. I love Tracy Morgan.
Yes.
But not in this movie.
Oh.
And I'm sorry, they had Kunta Kinte himself. John Amos was in this movie. Mm-hmm. But I love him, but not in this movie.
No.
Salt and Pepper? Come on, where'd they pull them out of from? Where's Salt and Pepper been the last 30 years?
They've been waiting for this to come out.
Yeah, every single thing about this movie was number 2. Sequel, tick. Multiple characters played by the same actors, tick. Not funny, tick. Love story, tick. And why the fuck did they make this? Nothing about this was good. Yeah, I got nothing really more to say. It's a rage.
It's so bad.
It was predictable and exactly what I thought it was going to be. And not really funny. Like, nothing was funny.
If you can put Tracy Morgan in a movie and still not make me laugh, that's unbelievable.
That's a feat.
That's the one thing. When I'm watching the opening credits and it said Tracy Morgan, I'm like, okay, at least there's going to be a few laughs in this.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, they managed to make Tracy Morgan not funny, and that didn't seem possible before this.
That's not a feat possible. He's funny just to look at him most times.
Yep.
Like, he could just be sitting there and it's like Tracy Morgan pops on the screen and you're just like,
exactly.
But he wasn't even funny, not even to look at. Like, what's
going on?
This was literally, you know what? I don't want to say it because no, 9 Lives is still worse than this. But this is really terrible. It is truly a terrible movie.
It was atrocious. And the whole reason we watched this is because I wanted to get you back for making me watch Coming to America. So I was like, okay, we're watching this because, you know what? Little did I know that, you know, I don't know why I would do it because it means I have to watch it too.
You're right. Yeah, it's like when you punish me, you're only punishing yourself.
Exactly. So the joke's on me once again. Yeah, this was god awful, and just don't watch it.
Yeah,
I have talked to 3 people in the last week or so that have said that they started to watch it, but like 10 minutes in, they couldn't even do it anymore. They just had to turn it off. And I wish I could have done that, but I suffered through right to
alas, we put it on the list, so we got to watch it.
That's it. Anyways, that's enough about Coming to America.
Yep.
Let's move on to something
Lucky.
Better. Yeah.
We saw Lucky. So, a suburban woman fights...
where's Lucky play?
Oh, Lucky's on Shudder.
Dum dum.
Yes. So a suburban woman fights to be believed as she finds herself stalked by a threatening figure who returns to her house night after night. Then When she can't get help from those around her, she is forced to take matters into her own hands. Dum dum.
Dum,
Director. It's kind of like it fit. Felt like it fit there. Natasha Kermani, written by Bria Grant and stars Bria Grant, Hunter C. Smith, and Christina Klebosi, Klebosine. What's one of those? Maybe.
Okay. Maybe.
So, first off, the music is erratic and choppy, but very well done. The story starts out and has a real weird feel right from the beginning, almost like it's a dream-like state, and continues to escalate in a confused state where we, the audience, are as confused as our female lead. I like the suspense of the murderer showing up all the times, and the feeling of her descending into madness. Not sure I liked some of the too many unanswered questions the film had, like the husband leaving in the first place, and the fact that it appears this had been going on for a while, but that she didn't remember it at first. And then through the film, she now remembers all the time, every night. Still not sure what the reason or why it all happened, but I'm okay with that. Even her kid that just kind of shows up once or twice and then he doesn't show up again, it kind of made me go, what? Huh? I like the concept, felt that it had too many things that were not completely finished or maybe not realized, took away from the film a little bit, and the fact that she only takes the guy's mask off at the end for the big reveal gets a Happy Death Day adjacent meh.
Huh. Well, sir.
I mean, it had lots of ladies who kick ass and punch dicks. I was liking that.
Lucky had me early on as I was trying to figure out exactly what the heck I was watching. Both me and our main character, May, try to figure out the events transpiring around her. There is an absurdist comic atmosphere within this movie, meshed with some pretty heavy topics such as violence against women, isolation, and presumed gender roles. The way the comedy was meshed with the horror, which was meshed with the ultimate message of the story, was very well done. This uses the loop concept that really should have worn tired by now, but always seems to be fairly effective. I mean, we just saw it with
The other one. Yep. Palm Springs.
Palm Springs, that's it. Thank you.
Yep.
This device is delivered in a fresh way once again as May defeats her tormentor, only to have him return the next night over and over again. Shudder has once again continued in its tradition of either us giving us total crap or thought-provoking stellar films such as this. I feel lucky to have experienced Lucky. I thought it was Mondo.
Oh, well, there you go. I didn't love all of it, but I liked a lot of it.
I loved it.
I'm glad you did.
It was excellent.
I got a few things to unpack, though.
Yes.
So the husband leaves kind of near the beginning of the film.
I know. He was annoying.
Yeah, he was annoying. And yeah, okay, that's one of the marks against it. Did anything truly get answered at the end?
No.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I normally don't need all the answers. That's not really. And what happened to the creepy little fucker? Like, what happened? Like, what was his purpose to be there? It kind of just kept bothering me. I'm like, okay, so the kid shows up once, but it was kind of like, okay, like, it was
the scene where, you know what, it's Mondo for just that scene where she's in the kitchen and she gets questioned by like 17 different people and they're all kind of all surrounding her and they're all asking her questions. That's like the greatest scene ever.
It was a great scene. It was a great scene. I can't. There
were so many of those scenes and I was so entertained.
But there was also so many scenes where it kind of took away from those great, like, I couldn't give it a full, it wasn't a full Mondo for me, mostly because there was these other pieces that were digging away at me, and it wasn't, like, I could get over one of them because there was a lot of great in this movie. There was a lot of great. I'm 100% understand why you bought into this this world that has been created.
There was so much great that the problems you have with it, I didn't care because
see, it's funny though. Like, you know, I like it. You know what? Gives me hope for you in general, because normally it's you that finds one thing wrong with a movie and it moves it from a Mondo to a Rage. But at least, you know what? I'm happy that you could get past those and give this a Mondo. I'm super happy for it. I couldn't because there was too many of them in the movie that just was okay. It started at an 11. You knew it was going to start at 11. It had ladies who kick ass and punch dicks. That's the rating it starts with. And then just little things chipped away at it. And then once it gets to a certain level and there's too many chips, it just can't get back there. It's just so yeah. I mean, I loved it, but I didn't love it all the way through it. So,
well, that's all right. Still worth checking out.
Yeah, it's definitely everybody should see this.
And as I say, I like to pump Shudder's tires for some reason because they've got so much good stuff.
Yeah.
And this is so worth watching.
I agree.
It's a great platform. I really like Shudder.
It's worth it. I agree, but it's a meh.
All right. So from there, we are going to move on to an award winner.
What?
Yeah. All right. So Minari from 2020 is now on video on demand. Minari is a film about a Korean family that starts a farm in 1980s Arkansas. This was the winner of the Golden Globe for Best Foreign Language Film. The film covers a variety of topics that include family, the immigrant experience, religion, racism, culture clashes, assimilation, and independence. The film feels genuine with its portrayal of its characters, developing all of them to the point that we get to know them all at their best and at their worst. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Will Patton, as he shows up in this film and does what he does. He is one of the best character actors out there, and his performance as the Jesus-praising Christian farmer Paul lives up to his reputation. Some might say Will Patton is mesmerizing, but we'll talk about that later.
What?
Yoo Jung-yoon as the grandma was also very, very good in this. Her scenes with the kids are extremely well executed. She managed to make me laugh, infuriate me, roll my eyes, and basically she got the response she was going for out of me every time she was on the screen.
Every time. She
is amazing. This was a nice, evenly paced snapshot of the American dream when things don't quite go to plan. This movie was genuine, and when it was over, I thought it was pretty good. But in the days that followed, the film stayed with me, and now I'm inclined to think that it was actually better than pretty good.
It was
Mondo.
Yes. Okay, so we got this off video on demand too, by the way. We had to rent this baby.
Yeah, I think we paid money.
$20 bill. I think it was $20 bill. I think it was $20 bill. I love it when you've got so much money you don't even care what you're doing with your money. It's like, oh, whatever. I want to see a movie. I'm gonna spend all this money. So good. So dollar bill. Steve Ewan. Okay, so I noticed you didn't mention Steve Ewan once.
Yeah, he was fine.
I love Steve Ewan, and mostly because I love him as an actor in everything I've seen him in. And I just think he's on a roll now. Like
By the way, before you go on, was he the guy from that sort of horror movie in the office?
Yeah, man.
That's the same guy. Wow.
Yep, that's him.
That's polar opposite movies, eh?
Well, yeah, and he's a big character. Like, I know you don't really watch the whole TV thing, but he's like a huge character in The Walking Dead. He's also in Okja, which is really where he kind of got his big start.
I love that movie.
Yeah, and he's brilliant in that. So yeah, I mean, everything Steve Ewan is motherfucking brilliant, yo. So finally, we get a North American story told in another language. Okay, well, maybe not finally, because there is a few that come out there that have been happening, and a little bit more than a few I think last year there was a Chinese film that was made that was also an American-made film that was a foreign language film. But I love the stories that brings culture together, and seeing this Korean family trying to navigate American sensibilities and customs was so refreshing. And the humor that Grandma adds to the story is just amazing. The characters are so well developed, and I mean so well developed and beautifully written. The plot and direction is so well done, and every subplot and storyline was so interwoven into this great film. This is the new American cinema. Stories of real Americans / Canadians and the dreams and hardships that bring the truth of what America / Canada is. Except this one is made with kimchi and Minari. Huh, what do you know? A modern day glimpse of the Grapes of Wrath, but with more heart. I'm not a big fan of the book Grapes of Wrath. Hopefully all of our literary friends don't go, what? But yeah, I'm not a super big fan of that, but I really felt the essence that Grapes of Wrath brings to this film. Not even to copious amounts of creepy little fuckers in this film could upset me, as they were part of the 3% that I actually do not despise that were in this film. They were fantastic.
Yep.
This movie was heartwarming and powerful, and it was a motherfucking hot and tasty kimchi-drenched mondo. Favorite line, and I've got two. You like Grandma, hey?
Yes.
Or the ever popular one, which she likes to pull out at the most embarrassing times. Penis is broken.
Yes.
This movie was so good. So good. Yeah. I'm glad you came around and gave it the mondo it deserves, because it was very, when I was watching it, I was thought this is just the right amount of slow that I'm sure that as I'm watching it and loving every minute of it, that you were loving it. And then I started thinking about some of what was going on. I'm saying, I'm trying to be super over hypercritical. Am I going to be able to guess if he actually gives us the mondo? And I'm glad
it just really stayed with me, and I was thinking about it because I was like, that was a good movie. And the more I thought about it, I was like, nah, that's so much better than a good movie. And maybe there was a little bit of me trying to pick it apart a little because it won the Golden Globe, and I was a little upset that one of my favorites didn't, that was nominated in the same category. But
what was the one?
La Llorona was in there as well. Which I know it had no chance, but
I like this better than La Llorona. I like this one better.
It's a different movie, but yeah, if someone forced me to pick, this is a better movie than La Llorona.
All right, then we've got consensus, people. It's a consensus type of day.
No, real good flick. If you get a chance, check out Minari. Well worth the watch.
Well worth the $20.
$20. So,
what else did we see? We saw the United States versus Billie Holiday, which we also watched on VOD. And this one follows Holiday during her career as she is targeted by the Federal Department of Narcotics with an undercover sting operation led by Black federal agent Jimmy Fletcher, with whom she had a tumultuous affair. Or did she? That's the question. So I have to give this a little bit of a perhaps a predication, or everything about this movie should have made me absolutely hate every single thing about it. But there was a lot of good things that I did like in his. So, I mean, it was a period piece and it was a biopic. So right off the bat, it's starting at a rage, and it had to fight its way to get out of it. Natasha Lyonne, who I know we both love, as always, was great. She had too small of a part. She should have been way more in it.
I don't know why she was in it. If you're going to use her, if you're not.
The
whole point of her, I'll save it for later.
No. But to your point, it's so truthful. Like, her character wasn't in it enough to really tell her story.
It's like the whole point she was in it for that was for that one stupid elevator scene.
Yes. Or maybe the other scene where the only other scene that they maybe had her in, which was when the person was coming back to ask her about, did you know this about her, right? Like it was kind of like, that's maybe hit stuff in the editing floor we don't know about. But yeah, if you're going to have Natasha Lyonne in any movie, you should probably use her better. But, the other character actors in this, Davine, Joy, Randolph was great. In fact, I liked most of the cast. I thought they were all super strong. Andra Day, also great. She does an amazing job emulating the emotions and feelings of what this poor woman went through. She had a real Macy Gray feel to her voice through the movie, which I love because I motherfucking love Macy Gray. Like I could listen to Macy Gray all day long. And so I was really kind of digging her voice. This film does move from one powerful scene to another, pointing vignettes as moments of time. But do they fit of what this is? I'm not sure. I love the way they're shooting the montages when she's in prison. And montages is almost the exact thing why I hate period pieces, because montages are awful. There's a really powerful scene near the beginning of the movie, which we've kind of already alluded to, where she tries to get in an elevator and she's not allowed. And there's a black man who's controlling the elevator. And when she tries to get on, he says, "They are killing us in the South for less. Don't make this hard on me." This is a fairly good summation of this film and what it's about, but it's not everything that we got. It's not easy to watch at times. It said it once, and I'll say it again. Give me the documentary, not the biopic. And although the writer commented, and I'm going to give a direct quote here, she commented that Fletcher and Holiday, I could see this love affair that Holiday has with Jimmy Fletcher because it tells the story of the love affair that Black Americans have with America. It's about Black American women living in America who's been in love with her country her whole life. Black Americans love this country, often at our peril. But I disagree. Just tell the story. It's interesting enough. Great cause. This movie is so important. Great acting. Story was not focused enough. And it's another period biopic that should just have been a motherfucking documentary. And I'm giving it a meh because of the strength of these characters, not the strength of this direction. And I've got things to unpack too. So.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, we basically agree, but we don't really agree. I understand embellishing things a little if you were making a biopic, but taking stuff that just did not happen and making it the focus of your film in what is supposed to be a true story is ridiculous. The fact that they made a film that should have been about Billie Holiday into a stupid love story that did not even exist makes me want to puke. Yes, federal agent Jimmy Fletcher existed. And yes, he did set up one bust for the FBI, but this love affair that the film represented did not happen. And if it did not happen, why did you call this United States versus Billie Holiday? If you want to make a fictitious movie about a junkie singer and a federal agent, then call your movie something else. Maybe call it Junkie Singer and Federal Agent. I don't know. Once again, writers get in the way of telling a compelling story. Billie Holiday's life did not need some made-up angle to embellish her story. Her struggles with addiction, her song Strange Fruit, her real-life struggles with the FBI, and her undeniable talent should have been enough to make a compelling movie without making up stuff that ultimately took the focus off of Holiday. This was a major misfire of something that should have been a slam dunk. I will say that Andra Day was very good as Holiday, but unfortunately, she is the only glimmer in this. This should have been a Mondo with the subject and the talented cast, but I was so annoyed by the fabrication of this alternate universe that I was left feeling nothing but rage.
I cannot argue with one thing that you say. I feel exactly the same as you as I was watching it. There was, and it's kind of a little bit, but not exactly the same as the same thoughts we had with Lucky. And I don't want to compare them, but it's like I was a little bit maybe more generous with this movie because I literally thought that she acted her clothes off, which she did quite a few times, by the way. She was absolutely brilliant. I couldn't.
She's the only thing that I found.
I know, but this is okay. So this is funny, and I get where your anger comes from because I hate biopics and I hate period pieces. And this was not this was not a well told story. I had to for me to be able to enjoy the acting that Andra Day portrayed in this movie. I had to remove myself from the fact that this was a story about Billie Holiday. And I understand why you're raging, and I am not taking anything away from you, but I have to give credit to Andra Day's
I did.
I know. It's giving points. It's getting points for me. And I get why. I'm not going to argue with you. I think you're right. This deserves a rage.
I wish she was in a better directed, better written film. Because it was, and I guess, I'm the idiot because she won Best Actress at the Golden Globes. So
but that doesn't make you an idiot. This just makes it, she did a stellar job in this movie.
She did a stellar job.
This movie is just not a great movie. It's a bad movie with great performances. I think there was a lot of great performances in this. Not just her. I think there was a lot.
It was a complete waste of a talented cast to make that's what annoys me. But this was a story worth telling. There's no question.
I kind of want to see.
And why did we have to stick a stupid love affair in there? What purpose? You read me the quote, and I don't like that explanation.
No, neither do I. That's the writer. That's the writer talking. And like I said, I totally disagree. You can put whatever you want in a movie and say that, blah, 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 something, something. But why, if you're making a biopic, make a fucking biopic.
Yeah.
And then make it good.
Yeah. There you go. Make it good. Why not?
How about that?
Not even just biopics. If you're going to make a movie,
make it fucking good.
Just make sense, really.
Okay, well, that's enough of that. Although I wish we kind of now placed that one actually before the other one, because I have a feeling we're not going to be super raging about the next one. And we got this as a special gift.
We did.
Yeah. What is it?
It is Land. And we got a little advanced, I think it was like a day before it went on video demand, I believe.
Yep.
The Calgary International Film Festival was kind enough to show it to a few people, and we were happy to watch it. So Land 2021, directed by Robin Wright.
Robin Wright? What? Who was almost Undoubted?
Yeah, she directed it. Wait a second, she stars in it too.
What is happening?
All right. So, Land is a story of a woman that experiences tragedy in her life and decides in order to deal, the answer is to isolate herself from the world. She leaves behind her remaining family and friends with little explanation. She leaves behind all connections to the world, which included one of them walking around phones. Her plan was to cut herself off from everyone. Her plan goes awry when a local man named Miguel saves her life and becomes part of her routine. It is a movie about nature versus woman and loss and healing and friendship and perseverance and the will to survive, even though you may not even want to. It is at its core about human connection. It has a lot of breathtaking shots of the mountains. Robin Wright as Edie is good, and Demian Bashir as Miguel shines throughout. There is so much good here, but not a lot of great. It is definitely worth checking out. It's a competent debut from Wright as a director. It was good. It wasn't great. I thought it had the potential to be great. It was meh.
Wait a minute. Just so I'm clear here.
Yes.
This movie was basically her walking around for an entire movie.
There was some walking.
Well, just so I'm sure I understand this.
Yeah.
She walked an entire movie and you couldn't get you to a Mondo.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm a little surprised here.
Well, yeah, well, now that you're explaining it that way, it's like, well, what was I watching? But
okay, well, let me talk about what I thought. Maybe this will resonate some of it. And I think we ended up in the same spot. Beautiful Alberta. I just can't get more scenic than this film. Beautiful, beautiful Alberta, our home and native land. Sound mix, or at least the version I watched, was awful. The volume for the music, the sound, and the talking was terrible. I almost wanted to turn that off and just watch the whole movie and see the scenics around of beautiful Alberta. That's right, I might say that a few times. As I'm watching it, I just kept asking, why would she think, without any knowledge about roughing it, that she would be able to survive in the mountains? I know they're supposed to be in Wyoming, but in the beautiful mountains of Alberta, to be able to survive in a hut that has no insulation, no firewood, no anything. Like, you could see outside between the cracks in the walls. This is made of plywood, and supposedly she's been there. This was like her father's home, that she had been there many times. And yet all she does is go there without a phone, without a car. That, I couldn't get past some of that. It was kind of annoying me. But once I figured out that she's obviously a mentally handicapped person, I was able to start getting past that. And I thought, with her limited mental capacities, trying to survive in the mountains by herself, I kind of felt sorry for her. This is the story of rebirth and self-realization. This is not the first film of this type. Sort of like, think of Into the Wild, except with a different ending and a different person. The scenery in this is so great all through the entire film. Ultimately, the film is a slow, scenic, personal journey and a how-to manual on the what not and how to survive in the mountains by yourself. It should almost been on the National Geographic. I like the fact that this was not a love story, because if that would have happened, this would have turned really quickly. I like that a lot. But it was a story of mutual respect and acceptance. I like the acting, the scenery, the stillness of the film, the ending, and the film itself. I just didn't love it. It's a mess.
It's a mess.
But the fact that it was shot in beautiful Alberta, now that is a mondo. If we could rate it just for the scenery alone, I would say the scenery is a mondo.
Nice.
And it's a pretty good attempt for Robin Wright's first outing. I actually, you know what? I didn't hate it. I was enjoying the scenery. I was enjoying the telling of her story. I had a few things that kind of pissed me off and bothered me. I'm like, okay, you're mentally handicapped. I get that. It's probably unfortunate for you, and maybe the movie would have been different if you just would have died. But
yes,
it's beautiful Alberta. Beautiful Alberta.
All right.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Okay. I know we kind of started with this movie, and I kind of should have put this before going into our rages. But what the fuck? Do we really need to make more 20-year-old sequels? And why do I even need to watch Coming to America without being dared? So this week, I'm going to rage about gluttonous, greedy people making movies and about Bryce for making me watch this movie. These are my two rages this week. I'm giving you a double dose of open rage. Number one, Coming to America is truly deplorable and awful. And I really feel that Eddie Murphy and his cronies who made this film was really just getting a cash grab and put no thought into anything about how this film was written or what it's about. Most of the people that I know who are even in the Black community don't think they don't they're not putting positive things about this film. And they're saying, things such as, okay, there's more than one country in Africa, people. And if you're going to make a movie about Africa, how about you go to Africa to make it instead of in front of a bunch of green screens? So, yeah, it's a terrible movie.
With a made-up country.
With a made-up country. Like, I guess, well, if you're going to pretend you're a king or a prince of a made-up country. Yeah. Oh, God, don't even get me remembering this. I want to never, ever remember this movie after today. If I ever hear the word Eddie Murphy and coming to anything, I'm going to be going from everywhere. I just think this movie was awful. I think it was a money grab. And then I want to thank Bryce for giving me one of the best rages so far this year, because this was extremely painful. This is Chris Klein painful. This is 9 Lives almost painful. It was disgusting and deplorable. And that is my rage this week.
I did it to myself too, though. I just don't know why.
But that, you know what? That kind of ends on a positive note for me.
There you go.
Payback, baby.
Yes. All right, so I've already talked about it, but we're going to just talk about it a little more because I'm still just so annoyed by the United States versus Billie Holiday. The United States versus Billie Holiday managed to do 2 things that I dislike the most in movies. They shoehorned an unnecessary love story for what reason is beyond me. And in doing so, they also managed to do the other thing that I find deplorable, and that is fabricating situations and circumstances that did not happen in a film that is supposed to be based on a true story. Congrats to the writers and directors of this film, as you have caused me to double rage.
But you know what? I'm kind of happy because, if we don't get enough double rage / double penetration of rage, it's not Film Rage. We should be changing our name to Film Mondo. We got to have enough rage in our podcast to live up to our own name.
We got more than enough this week.
There's enough rage in this episode to last us a month. So if we now just watch good movies, which isn't going to happen, by the way, but if we only did watch good movies,
it would be great if we did, but
it's not nearly as fun. I actually can't wait to see what happens later. Stay tuned, people. Stay tuned.
All right.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Whoa. So, what you got going on, baby? You got some juice? I got a couple of juices for the repulsive list.
I got some stuff this week.
I love it.
You know what? You got 2, I got 2. Let's alternate.
All right. Okay. Well, this one I'm pretty sure is going to be a slam dunk because it's literally one of the most rageful, most repulsive actors on the planet today, and that is Vin Diesel. I'm like, every time he's on screen, I cannot stand. Did we pick the same person?
Oh, I can't believe that wasn't the first one on my list.
I know how much you hate him, and I hate him just as much. I hate every single thing about him. I can't stand his voice. I can't stand his acting. I can't stand his almost muscles. It's like, come on, dude. Could you? It's true. He's got somewhat muscles, but you never see him take his full shirt off. So what's going on under there? Is like a little bit of flap. He's got a beer belly or what? What's going on with Vin Diesel?
He's just a big guy. He hits the gym about 5 minutes a week.
Yeah, exactly. He's just a little, chunky a little bit. But yeah, I mean, just dude, what is your purpose in these movies? It's just, and actually, I almost want to think, although he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a Mondo, so he can't, the original. The second one was maybe a meh, but it's, and does he count for that? Because he's just a voice.
Yeah, it's just a voice.
So it doesn't count for him. No. So you know what? Maybe we should take this a little further. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Could he be doubted?
Yes, this is a great question.
Pull it up. Let's see what you got.
All right.
There's got to be a bunch of them Fast Furious movies.
Yeah, which were all a rage.
He doesn't seem to get that many movies these days. So,
okay, so here we go. We got. Okay, we can't count him when he's playing Groot because it's just his voice.
Nope.
Okay, so Bloodshot, which was a rage.
Rage.
Yep. Okay, so you're gonna keep track of this. You got something to write with?
I got something to write with.
Okay, then we've got The Fate and the Furious, which was a rage. Then we've got The Return of Xander Cage in Triple X, which was a rage.
That was awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did I see that? Oh my goodness gracious.
Dude, you have this fascination with watching terrible movies.
Yes.
Okay, then he was in a movie called Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk, which sounds terrible. And I haven't seen it.
It wasn't terrible, but it was meh.
Okay, so do we have a double meh? Okay, then we have The Last Witch Hunter, which was a rage.
That's a rage.
Then we have The Fast and the Furious Supercharged.
Rage.
That was a rage. Then we have Furious 7, which was a rage.
Yep.
Then we have Riddick, which to me was a meh.
That was a meh.
Okay, but then very close to that is Fast and the Furious 6, which is a rage.
That's a rage.
And then we've got Fast 5, which is a rage. Then we've got Los Bandoleros, which was a rage.
I don't think I saw Los Bandoleros. Never heard of it.
Trust me, it's a rage. Then we had Fast. Then we have Fast and the Furious, which was a rage. Okay. What were you talking about? Who made our doubted list before? That you were like, he's got the most rages. I think Vin Diesel might be that guy.
I got 2 mehs in his last 8, so I'm gonna say no.
But there's a lot of rage.
There's a lot of rage, but it's not like we had like 17 or something. I can't remember who the heck was it. It was
Babylon. Okay, well let's keep this party going. Okay, so Babylon AD was a rage.
Rage.
Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift was a rage. Even though he was really, he says uncredited, but his face was probably on it.
Yeah, I don't know that was a rage. I never saw that one. I saw all of them, I think, except
then there's Find Me Guilty, which was a meh. The Pacifier was a rage. Chronicles of Riddick, which was a meh. A Man Apart, I think that was probably a meh. Was it? I don't remember it.
I hated it.
And then Triple X, which was a rage.
Rage.
Knockaround Guys, which I didn't mind. It was a meh.
It was all right. It wasn't Mondo, but that was meh.
Fast and the Furious was a rage.
Not too many mehs, man. He's not.
Pitch Black was a meh. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. He's got a Mondo from me, but we got to go back really far.
Mm-hmm.
Saving Ryan's Privates for me was a Mondo.
Anyways, he's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's got like 6 mehs, man. But in his last 8, I've got rage, meh, rage, meh, rage. And you've got rage, didn't see rage, meh, rage. So I would say
he's doubted.
Makes him doubted.
And he's also repulsive. So it's
so repulsive.
Because he's so repulsive. Okay, it's your turn.
Okay, my turn. As I mentioned earlier, I am nominating Will Patton for Mesmerized.
Okay, hold on here. Let's just see what we got here. If nothing else, he's mesmerizing.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen Shookham Hills.
No, that was my problem with Will Patton. There's too much I haven't seen because he's been in a lot of stuff.
Well, I guess we'll have to make the list, right? Because I haven't seen that. It's brand new. It's 2021.
Yeah.
And then Sweet Thing, I haven't seen that either.
Yep.
Minari.
When I do see him, he's mesmerizing.
I agree. So we're gonna have to put him. I think we're gonna have to file him in the. We got to see a bunch of his films. Okay, so Minari, we both think is Mondo. Hammer, I also haven't seen Hammer.
Oh, that was why I couldn't nominate him because I just haven't seen enough of his films.
Radio Flash, I haven't seen that either. Okay, but it doesn't look very promising because it's like a 4.8 on IMDb. Blood on her name. I think we just gotta. Okay, so he's got a rage already because he was in. Well, no, it was a meh. I was thinking it was the zombie one, but it's not. It's 2018's Halloween, which was a meh for me.
Yep.
Yeah, there's too many movies.
And once again, he was.
Oh
really
wait,
good.
he was also in American Honey, which is a rage. So
Which was Mondo.
It's a rage. It's the biggest rage of 2016 for me. It was so terrible.
M-O.
So unfortunately,
M-O-N-D-O.
Nope. That's
American Honey was Mondo.
It's one of the only movies that I literally walked out of 5 minutes, 10 minutes left.
I loved it.
Yeah, I don't normally walk out of movies, but that was one I could not take anymore.
Mondo.
Yeah. Okay, well, I agree. He's mesmerizing.
There we go. Your turn.
All right. Well, sorry, I've got to make a note here.
Yes.
Will Patton is yes for mesmerizing. Okay, I am going to give you. You know what? Let's go to. I'm going to do an Undoubted.
All right.
Now
that's cool because I am also going to attempt to get someone on the Undoubted list. So let's see.
Well,
I bet you didn't come up with my name.
This one's not going to make it, but
why are you
because
you want to talk about them.
I want to talk about them. A and B.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen this movie, and if you don't like this genre, you're going to hate it. But
Okay.
I'm going to nominate Logan Lerman.
I have no idea who that is.
Well, he's in the movie Shirley, which we already know is a Mondo.
Yes, we do know that.
He was in End of Sentence, which was a Mondo.
Don't know what's End of Sentence.
Let me just pull up this stuff so you can get it all there. Actually, let's just pull him up so we've got him. Okay, sorry.
That's all right. This is captivating listening for our audience.
Yeah, exactly. End of Sentence is, after being widowed, Frank Fogel reluctantly embarks on a journey to honor his wife's last wish of spreading her ashes in a remote lake in her native Ireland. And it stars John Hawkes and Logan Lerman.
Yeah, I've seen it. Now that you, I don't know. I have no idea why. I have seen that movie, and it is Mondo.
Okay, there we go. So we're on
and
the same page.
This is actually an amazing tie-in. I can't believe when you said the movie, I was like, well, what is that? It's like, no, I've seen this movie.
Yeah,
it is actually, it's the last movie that who I'm nominating is in.
What? And then Sydney Hall, which is also a Mondo. Have you seen Sydney Hall?
No.
It stars your girl Elle Fanning. Sydney Hall finds accidental success and unexpected love in an early age, then disappears without a trace. It is Mondo. And then he's also in Indignation, which is on Tubi, by the way. And it is also a Mondo. Then he was in Fury, which to me was a Mondo.
Meh.
Okay. Now, this is where it may kill it, because I haven't actually seen this. And if this made you rage, then it stops. But Noah from 2014.
Noah.
Yep.
Is that the one with what's his head?
Yep. Good old what's his head? Russell Crowe. Yep.
Yeah, Russell
Jennifer
Crowe.
Connelly, Anthony Hopkins.
It's awful. It's a rage.
Okay. Well, there you go. So it stops.
I hated that movie.
Yep. Okay. So there you go. But so he's got a good take, because he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on a roll, and he's still super young dude. So
there you go. That is so weird. End of Sentence also stars who I am nominating for Undoubted.
Why did you ask who's in that movie then?
What's that? No, I asked what the movie was, and then as soon as you described the movie, I'm like, that's a great movie. I know that movie.
Are you happening to nominate John Hawkes in this?
I am.
That's awesome.
I am nominating John Hawkes for Undoubted. The first one, I think he's safe. End of Sentence is the last one he was in.
It's a Mondo.
Has he not been in anything since 2019? What happened last year?
He was in a TV movie called Deadwood. So
yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So End of Silence 2019 was Mondo.
What? What are you talking about? End of silence. Yeah, of course. Yep.
End of
Okay, sorry.
sentence.
I thought we were. Yeah, sorry. 30. We already got past that one. Okay.
I know. So I'm going to do it one more time because you keep on interrupting me and I want this to flow.
Okay, flow, baby.
Okay, end of sentence. 2019 was Mondo. The Peanut Butter Falcon, also 2019, was also Mondo.
Yep.
Unlovable from 2018 is Mondo.
It was a meh for me, but it doesn't matter because the next one is a super Mondo.
3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, 2017, Mondo.
Yep.
Small Town Crime from 2017 is so Mondo.
Yeah, that's good. Yep, I agree.
Everest from 2015 was meh.
Yeah, I agree. Meh. It was meh.
Too Late from 2015 was freaking Mondo.
Yeah, I agree.
And The Driftless Area is the one that could kill it. It was meh for me.
You know what? I love Anton Yelchin, and I didn't mind this one too. It was a meh.
Yeah.
It wasn't a rage. It probably should have been, but him alone. And I love Zoe
Deschanel. It was great. So. It was one of those ones that it wasn't fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but it was definitely meh. It was not a rage.
Yep.
And I think that's a whole lot of Mondo in there. I think he might be undoubted.
I think that's what we just figured out.
Cool. Yep. I love that because he's so good. John Hawkes is such a great actor.
Yeah, man. Yep. I can't agree with you more. In fact, I just did agree with you the same amount.
Yeah. All right. I feel like I accomplished something this week.
You've accomplished a lot this week. Come on. Don't take yourself down a peg. So we got, just to recap, we have Vin Diesel on the repulsive list and on the doubted list.
Yes.
We have John Hawkes as a yes to the undoubted.
Yeah.
And what else did we accomplish? Did we have somebody on the mesmerized list?
Will Patton.
Yeah, we did. There we go.
Yep.
It's
Will
done.
Patton is mesmerized. So
I
yeah,
think
we got 3 people on the list.
That's the best.
That is the best. That
Okay.
could be better.
It isn't better.
All right, let's move on.
All right. Last week on Rage or Dare, Bryce gleefully pulled from the sweet bag of pleasure, aka the Dare bag, from our listeners and pulled the 2013 horror film Escape from Tomorrow. This week, I am going to have to ask Bryce for his rage bag. Oh my. Has he done his job and refilled it? If not, I guess I may get to take a dare instead. Let's check in with Bryce and see if he escapes from tomorrow or was horror or just horrifying.
By the way, I totally dare you to pull from my bag this week.
I'm going to. It's happening.
All right. That is something to look forward to. But in the meantime, I'm going to talk about Escape from Tomorrow. Escape from Tomorrow is the story of Jim, a husband and father who takes his family to a familiar theme park. It is gritty and weird and really quite amusing. The psychedelic dreamlike scenes on Disney rides and the guerrilla filmmaking that had to have taken place to get this movie made were a pleasure to experience. I will say that the film drags on a little too long, as even 90 minutes may have been a little too long for the concept that was presented. Still, for the first 2/3, I was really enjoying myself in this weird little world of Jim's mind. I'm glad I got to watch this one, as it was truly a unique experience that I am not likely to forget anytime soon. This was an amusing and original meh.
All right.
I liked it.
Yeah, I didn't mind it either, too. When I saw you pulled it, I was like, damn, how come I don't get to pull that fucking shit?
Yeah.
I get the worst things from that dare bag, and you pull that. I'm like, I've seen this movie like 4 times. I actually literally have seen this movie 4 times.
Yeah. No, I quite enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't Mondo, but man, it was a good time.
It's a party in your mind. It's really there.
Was. It falls apart a little bit at the end, but then it kind of redeems itself by just a completely wackiness of the ridiculousness of the very end. So,
and it's black and white. So there you go.
And it's black and white. So there you go. But yeah, no, the thanks once again to our fans for putting in another movie that I had never seen, and I really quite enjoyed it. So
Well, they did make us watch Battlefield Earth, so
I forgot about that.
yeah. So
that was
they
Murray.
sometimes. Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was Murray.
Oh, okay. Well, Murray
I'm
always
sure that
makes
was
us
Murray.
rage.
Yep, exactly.
We're sure to rage in Murray's bag.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what goodies I'm going to pick from your bag, Buckaroo.
All right. Should I just pull one at random?
Pull it at random. Pull it hard.
Okay. I got one.
Milk that bag. Milk that bag.
You're not even going to probably know what it is, or maybe you will. It is a movie by the name, it's from 2004.
2004.
It's a movie by the name of Chasing Liberty.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
It's one of my favorites.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, it's fun. I like that movie. It's kind of cute
It's a
and
lot of
funny.
fun.
It's a comedy.
Yeah. It's a comedy.
Chasing Liberty. It's got Mandy Moore, Matthew Good, Mark Harmon. I love Mark Harmon.
I
Stark
know.
Sands.
It's going to be so good.
It's a comedy romance. Two of my favorite things together.
Oh, you lucky dog, you.
And it's directed by Andy Cadiff, who's done some amazing work over his time as a TV director in such shows as Spin City or Quantum Leap. So yeah, he knows how to direct movies, just like he does TV shows.
How many movies did he do after Chasing Liberty?
Let me just check and see. Did he get fired after that? He's done a lot of stuff on TV, is what he's done after that. They probably didn't They didn't trust him with a budget, but
yeah, there might be a reason for that.
Well, I guess we'll find out next week if I'm in love with this comedy or
I'm gonna say one thing to you.
Yes.
Chasing Liberty is probably the best movie that was in my bag. So you got off light this time.
Okay, well, let's stay tuned for next week to see what I think of Chasing Liberty.
I can't wait. Andy Moore classic.
I can.
All right.
Well, thanks again, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended Film Rage crew of Leonard Conlon for his artistic vision of photography via Leonard Conlon Photography. And our buddy Bex Goose for her animation skills at Potato Lady podcastreviews.com. Find us on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and to Twitter at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com. See what we look like on YouTube channel by searching Film Rage Podcast. We're always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners. So please comment often everywhere you feel, including filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Send us emails, dare us to see movies. Go on Podchaser or Apple Podcasts and rate us. Dare us to see terrible, terrible movies to fuel our rage. But no matter what you do, please make us rage. Please, please. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.